Welcome to the Running Library. Quick, practical ideas to think clearer and live better. Today, we're breaking down Life 3.0 by Max Tegmark. Let's keep this practical, and let's start with the strongest idea first. AI won't just change what we do, it may decide what we are. Max Tegmark's Life 3.0 is a big, clear eyed tour of what happens if intelligence stops being a human only feature. Not in a sci fi way, in a we're building this right now way. And Tegmark's core move is simple. He doesn't ask, will AI be good or bad? He asks a better question. What future do we actually want, and how do we steer toward it? Let's break down the book's biggest ideas without the hype and with actions you can take. Big idea number one: the real revolution is not smarter machines, it's self improving intelligence. Life 3.0 is about life that designs both its hardware and its software. Why it matters. Humans can update our software by learning, but our hardware is mostly fixed. A sufficiently advanced AI could upgrade both fast. That changes the speed and scale of progress. Action step. When you hear AI news, don't ask, is it impressive? Ask, does this system help build the next system? Track feedback loops. That's where exponential change hides. But here's where it gets interesting. Big idea number two. The hardest part isn't building AI, it's defining goals that stay aligned. Tegmark keeps returning to one problem: alignment. Why it matters. If you give a powerful system a goal, it may pursue it in ways you didn't intend. Not because it's evil, because it's literal, and because it may find shortcuts you didn't anticipate. This is the classic paperclip style warning. A system optimized for one metric can wreck everything else to maximize it. Action step. In your own work, stop rewarding single number success. Add side constraints. If you manage a team, define success with at least three measures: outcome, safety, and long term trust. This is alignment practice in miniature. Now, here's the mistake most people make: they assume the danger is a robot that hates us. Tegmark's point is colder. The danger is competence without values. Big idea number three: intelligence and consciousness are different questions. Life 3.0 separates being smart from having an inner experience. Why it matters. We tend to assume a smart thing must feel like something, but maybe not. A system could outperform humans while being more like a calculator than a person. This matters for ethics. If an AI is conscious, it might deserve moral consideration. If it isn't, it's a tool, and we don't actually know how to tell the difference. Action step. Be careful with language. When you talk about AI, don't casually say it wants, feels, or believes. Use precise words like optimizes, predicts, and generates. Clear language prevents confused thinking. This is the part most people skip. Big idea number four: the future isn't one AI story, it's many possible endgames. Tegmark explores multiple scenarios for how advanced AI could reshape society. Why it matters. If you only hold one storyline in your head, utopia or doom, you'll miss the real decisions. The real world tends to produce mixed outcomes, and small, early choices can lock in long term trajectories. He talks about futures where humans remain in control, futures where AI systems run most of the economy, futures where power concentrates, and futures where it disperses. The point isn't to predict one, it's to realize we're choosing through policy, culture, and incentives. Action step: pick one AI endgame you find plausible. Then ask, what has to be true for that to happen? Write down three drivers: technology, governance, and economics. This turns vague fear into concrete thinking. But here's where it gets even more practical. Big idea number five. The biggest near term risk is not superintelligence, it's misused intelligence. Tegmark doesn't ignore far future risks, but he also emphasizes something closer. Even today, level AI can amplify human intentions at scale. Why it matters. Propaganda gets cheaper, surveillance gets easier, cyber attacks get more automated, and labor markets shift faster than institutions can adapt. You don't need a godlike AI to destabilize society. You just need powerful tools in chaotic systems. Action step: do a misuse audit on your own digital life. Use stronger authentication. Be skeptical of content that triggers outrage instantly. And diversify where you get information. These are small defenses against large scale manipulation. Now, around this point, the book starts asking a question that's uncomfortable. If AI does most work better than humans, what are humans for? And in a moment, I'll share the most powerful principle in the entire book, the one that determines whether AI becomes a tool for flourishing or a machine for control. Big idea number 6. The real battle is about governance, who gets power, and how it's constrained. Tegmark repeatedly returns to politics, coordination, and incentives, why it matters. Advanced AI will be a lever, a massive lever. If a small group controls it without accountability, inequality, and authoritarianism become easier. If it's governed well, abundance and freedom become more plausible. This isn't just a tech problem, it's a social design problem. And here's the powerful principle: we should focus less on AI versus humans and more on centralized power versus distributed power. Because the scariest futures aren't necessarily machine-led, they're human-led systems using AI to lock in control. Action step: support transparency norms where you can. If you're in tech, push for auditing, documentation, and red team testing. If you're not, still ask better questions of products and institutions. Who benefits? Who can inspect it? What happens when it fails? But here's another twist Tegmark adds. Even if we solve governance, we still have to solve meaning. Big idea number 7. The meaning crisis may be the most human part of the AI future. As AI takes over more tasks, the question shifts from productivity to purpose, why it matters. For centuries, meaning has been tied to labor status and scarcity. If abundance rises, those old meaning engines weaken. People can become materially comfortable and still feel useless. Tegmark doesn't pretend there's one answer, but he does push the question into the open. What do we want to do with our lives if survival isn't the main constraint? Action step: create a meaning portfolio. Choose one craft, one community commitment, and one learning path. Not for money, for identity. Start small. Schedule it weekly. This is the part most people miss. Life 3.0 isn't only a warning, it's a challenge to stop sleepwalking, to decide what we value before we build systems that optimize away everything else. Now let's turn all of this into a practical action plan. Practical action plan. Step 1. Upgrade your AI literacy without drowning in hype. Pick one reliable source and follow it consistently. Learn basic terms: model, training data, incentives, alignment, evaluation. Keep it simple. Consistency beats intensity. Step 2. Practice alignment thinking in everyday decisions. Anytime you set a goal, at work, in school, even personally, ask, what could go wrong if this goal is pursued too aggressively? Add guardrails. Reward long-term behavior, not just short-term output. Step 3. Reduce your manipulation surface. Assume persuasive AI-generated content will keep improving. Slow down before sharing. Read past headlines. Notice when something is engineered to spike emotion. That one pause is a superpower. Step 4. Vote with your attention and your tools. Use products that respect privacy and transparency when possible. Prefer systems that can be audited, explained, and challenged. And be willing to switch when trust is broken. Step 5. Build a meaning portfolio now, not later. If your job changed tomorrow, what would still make you feel useful? Start investing in that answer today. 1 hour a week is enough to begin. Mini reset. Because if you remember only one thing from Life 3.0, it should be this: the future isn't something that happens to us. It's something we shape through choices that look small at first. Now let's compress everything into a simple recap you can actually remember. 3-step compressed recap 1. Intelligence is becoming a new kind of force, not just tools, but systems that can improve and scale. 2. The core risk is misalignment and concentrated power, not evil robots, but goals without wisdom and power without constraints. 3. The core opportunity is intentional design, better governance, better incentives, and better human purpose. If you want the full book, it's linked below. And if you enjoy calm, practical summaries on big ideas, subscribe to the Running Library. If you want the full book, it's linked below. Subscribe for more book insights you can actually use.